Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Infernosaiyangaming back at it again with your favorite podcast of all time. I'm here with you know who, you know him, you love him, the daddy of the Keyblades, the Inferno Blades.
For the love of fuck.
My boy Blake here. What's going on, man? What's going on?
So I'm leaving the podcast.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Oh man, anytime now. Hey yo, daddy Keyblade. Bro, like.
Bro, I'm gonna make some stickers for your community. I'm gonna make some stickers and keychains.
Great. Look forward to that.
Yep, stay tuned, guys. I'll have links in the description for our future merch collab.
Oh god. No man, I'm not bad. How are you doing?
I'm doing alright, man. You know me, just grinding, playing some games, you know.
Oh yeah, you bumping and grinding?
Bumping and grinding, yes sir. So man, how's it feel getting your PS5, a new one, as a replacement?
Oh bro, no, I'm blessed with that. I should probably put up a community post, because I don't think a lot of people realize that like I'm back to making videos again. But yeah, I should probably. But yeah, no, bro, it was mad, because like I wasn't expecting it, and like I just went out to dinner like last Saturday with like my dad, my brother, and then like some of my dad's friends, because like it was just like late celebration with my dad's birthday, and like my brother was just like asking to catch up and stuff, and he and I were talking. We got to talking about like just life and work in general, and he's flying off to another country again for work this Friday actually, so he's there today. So like, you know, and then like we were talking about like work and how like I kind of hate my job, and then like he asked me like, because like he remembered like the previous Saturday, like I said to him like I had to send my PlayStation off, and he was like, oh, did it get fixed? And I was like, no. And he was like, what do you mean? And it's like I had to explain to him that like the motherboard is like attached with the disk drive, so if the disk drive breaks for a PlayStation 5, your motherboard is also fucked, so like, you need to get both new, and it's just cheaper to get a new PlayStation. And he went, oh, okay. And then he went, how long would that make you save? And I'm like, I don't know, depends. And he went, alright, well, I tell you what, I'll just give you the money. I was like, what? And then he went, yep. And then, like, legitimately, like, that Sunday, he was like, there you go get a PlayStation. I was like, okay.
Man, I need to get me a sugar daddy like that, man.
Oh, bro, don't oh, my brother, that,
Oh, this is great.
No. Oh, I can't believe I just called my brother that. Oh, I'm pinching my eyebrows right now. That's disgusting. Oh.
Anyway, guys, while, you know, my buddy here try to regain his, like, insanity, because, you know, I'm always breaking him apart, man. One of the questions from our dearest, you know, part of the server, Dear Sleeves, she wanted to know how... Sleeves. Yeah, shout out to you, Sleeves, we love you. You're awesome, you make some good artwork. But...
Slay Sleeves.
She wants to know, what was the origins of Inferno Blade? How do you think that ever got started?
I haven't a fucking clue, if I'm honest.
I have an idea, man.
Oh, you have an idea? Do you want to bestow your words of wisdom and enlighten us?
So if you guys don't know, whenever this guy has ever streamed, like through the years, from Twitch to his old channel to his channel now on YouTube, Twitch, you know, I have always had the weirdest kind of like, you know, I don't know, it's just something inside of me that comes out where I have to troll Blake. I have to just do something to break the dang guy. Whether I say the nipples of the twist, after, you know, he's always said, then I'll put a little twist on it, like the spermie of the twist or something weird. But anyway, I don't know why, but he hates daddy. And it's great. It's such a simple, easy word. I'm like, oh, I could go with this. And I'm like,
I hate it, bro. It just like, it makes my back like tense, and I'm just like, oh, it's like you know when you get a chill down your spine with like a cold gust of wind?
Yeah.
It's like that, but like I cringe inside, and it's like I shrivel up, and I'm just like, bleh. Like I want to throw up anytime I hear it. bro. Like
And
anytime.
and I started doing it whenever his new channel was starting to grow. He was getting viewers and everything, joining into his lives a little bit more. So I was like, "What's up, Daddy?" And they're like, Inferno, or I'll say something cringy. So I started getting more kind of like the train, the flow of people behind me. They were liking it, which I was like, okay, this is good. This is a good start. So I was like, Daddy Keyblade. Okay, that kind of sounds good. I'm like, Daddy Keyblade. So I started coming in there. I'm like, can we get some Daddy Keyblade to chat? We got Isaac. We got freaking Hearts. We got freaking me. We got freaking this and that. And I'm like, oh boy, we got the Daddy Keyblade trade coming in hot and rolling today.
Oh, don't forget Whisperoony, your favorite guy.
Oh yeah, shout out to you, Whisper. My guy.
So like I can't, man. It's ugh.
So I think sadly to say, I think that's how it got started.
I think it also got started because it's like I always had like multiple nicknames. There was like, oh, Papa Boy Keyblade, oh, Papa Boy Blake, oh, Blake, and then it was like, yeah, then there was just like some other names as well. And then you were like, oh, Blake hates the word daddy, and there's a reason for it. And it's not to try and kink shame people, but it's just like, I don't need to hear that, like, you know, like I don't need to hear that, like when people are getting down and dirty. I don't know why people say that, but yeah, it's just, I don't know, I always feel like that's just like, nah, like, and I'm not trying to like be mean to people, but it's just like, really, this is what you want to get called? Like, ugh, no, like, it's just like, it's so weird and so wrong to me. Like, I just like, ugh, makes me want to throw up.
See, guys, he suffers from a thing where a lot of us do, where we're delusional, we're in denial. He really loves it, guys.
No,
and
I don't. Just shut up, quit lying, blasphemy.
I would love your support, guys, if you could put Daddy Keyblade down in the chat, man. Because one, it's gonna help me with the algorithm. Two, it's gonna cringe.
He's gonna help me with the algorithm.
Hey, I gotta make it sound somewhat legit.
You know what would make it sound more legit? Guys, it would really help me with the algorithm if you just watched a 2-hour compilation of me screaming Daddy Keyblade and making Blake cringe his little brain out.
Oh my gosh, I need to make a fan art freaking animated little short of you raging at your yes. Yes.
No.
Yes.
God damn it. I didn't want to fuel any ideas.
Guys, you know what to do. We gotta make an animated short of Blake here, guys.
God damn it.
Anyway, before, you break from this, this messed up thing called me, has there been anything cool, like, in the whole game releases or announcements, man? And I also want to see if you share the, like, same feeling I have, where gaming right now feels so flat this summer, and hopefully it starts picking up through the fall. And tell me what you have heard in the news, man, if you got any news on gaming.
Honestly, man, like, I was very disappointed with yesterday's, like, state of play. Like, all I heard was that there was VR, and I'm like, great, another useless thing that no one needs unless, like, you've got the money to pay for VR.
Like, VR is cool, like, don't get me wrong, that's cool, but it's just
I don't think so.
Well, it could work, it's just, like, in Minecraft VR, it's funny. It's funny to freaking do. Now,
Minecraft VR?
Yes, there is. My buddy Silva has played it, and dude, it is funny because the head of your Minecraft character moves exactly like you do in person, so it's really weird to your traditional controller movement. Bro, it is wild. And
bro,
like, don't get me wrong, it's cool that they're trying with it, but it can't be all about that, because at the end of the day, what is the majority of it all about? It's about the console era. Yeah, a little bit of the PC era. Like, we're not that far ahead, guys. And plus, VR is stupid expensive.
It is. It's like I'm almost paying for a console. But yeah, it's just like that's all that I heard, and like I didn't watch all of State of Play because when I came in, they were like, "Let's talk about the VR too." I was like, "Nope, I'm already clicking off of this shit." I was immediately done. Like, I hate VR. Like, I tried a VR when they first released one, and yeah, it gave me a headache in less than like 4 minutes, and I was like, "Oh, that actually hurts." Like, I don't want to experience this again. I feel like if we are gonna do VR, it's not now. Like, it's the wrong time. The technology isn't there to perfect it.
Let me
It's
ask.
like
I want to.
3D. Like, we haven't got the perfectionist
I want to add.
level for it
I
yet.
want to ask you something with that. Do you think also too, if you having a little bit of symptoms of dyslexia, you think that kind of freaking conflicts with your with VR too?
I don't think it would be the dyslexia that does it. I think it'd be the dyspraxia because that's like with hand-eye coordination and having to memorize a certain amount of things.
Yeah, you do suck with that, unfortunately.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate the honesty.
Why can't you go in just right? I'm sorry, I'm off balance.
No, not like that, my guy. My fucking god.
So I've seen confirms, like this is good. I've seen confirms from Twitter or X as they call it now. I've seen.
Yeah, I
yeah.
refuse to call it X.
Yeah, same here. I saw a few weeks back that it officially got confirmed that GTA 6 has been in the works for a bit, and it's rumored that it's going to cost $150. But I think they didn't specify that's like starting price. It most likely it's probably going to be like some crazy deluxe edition. I feel like that's what it's going to be.
I'm sorry, but if it's that much, like, no one's gonna be stupid enough to pay for. Actually, wait, no, I've known people to pay hundreds for Call of Duty.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right there.
Nah. Now, when I get Call of Duty, I get base, and I even complain to my buddies, like, why buy the Vault edition if you're not even going to hardly play it,
Yeah, fair.
But I'm glad that's in the works. I mean, God, man, it's been 10 years since GTA 5 came. Dude, think about how far back it was. It came out first on 360s and PS3s before it came on the...
Back in 2013.
Yeah. Right in that era where we were switching the Xbox 360, the one from PS3 to PS4. Like, just think about it. We were just coming where that was new gen. That's how far and long ago it was, man. Like... That's wild.
Yeah, it is mad, man. But see, the reason why I don't think that it's gonna come out anytime soon is cause, like, look at all the money they're making from just GTA 5 Online.
But yeah,
like,
they're starting to cut back on it a bit though, which I'm getting that sense of preparing the next couple years. Not gonna say next year. I don't see it the next year, but the next couple, the 3 to 4 years, I could see a possibility of it coming out.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it maybe 5-6 years at most.
Yeah.
Because they like to perfectionist with their games, apart from, let's be real, those ports of GTA, San Andreas, and 3 and all that, they're all perfecting that. They were a hot mess.
Yeah. And I played the originals, and yeah, it was rough, buddy. Ouch.
Yeah, no, it's bad when, like, Rockstar like to take shortcuts.
COD.
What about COD?
Shortcuts. Every year releases.
Wow, okay, so this is something crazy, new topic right now. COD fan, this guy right here, most of his content is Call of Duty related. And you're saying that you don't like the yearly release?
Depends. And here's the thing. So Treyarch doesn't release as often as Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward. So a lot of the COD releases, so listen to this one. We've had MW19. We've had, what was it? I think it was either Vanguard or freaking Cold War. Then we had like Cold War. No. It was MW19, then Cold War, then Vanguard, then MW2. So we went from freaking, I think it was Sledgehammer to Treyarch to Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward. I could have it backwards. I think Infinity Ward made MW19. But anyway, the point is, how many of those repeated? Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer, Cold War, which is made by Treyarch, once. Infinity Ward and freaking Sledgehammer rush it. They rush it. Too much. Quit it. Treyarch.
Gotta get that money, guys.
Treyarch. Black Ops 4 to Cold War, okay? Those are the last two Treyarch games. Blake, you remember when you got me Cold War? That was back in 2019 or 2020.
Wait, did I get you Cold War?
Yeah, you must have got it for me in like 2018, 2019. No, not Cold War, Black Ops 4. But you got it for me. Yeah, that was ages ago. But
oh my god, that was like so new to me.
Yeah. So back then to Cold War that came out, I'd say 2020. Could be wrong. But that time gap though of 2 to 3 years, and they were so successful compared to the other two companies, like garbage.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, y'all suck. Now MW3, y'all doing one thing right. Good maps. But the game movement needs to be good too. If you give me some decent maps, then it's alright. Which they're gonna be all the original MW2. Don't know why they put it in MW3 instead of the MW2 that came out, but anyway. Moving on from that, before I get heated and freaking rip my freaking testicles from me. Did you ever play any Paydays back in the day?
Are you mentally okay?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. Just checking. I think I own one of the Paydays. But
I know 3's coming out.
I think it's Payday 2 that I own.
Yeah, I saw it on Game Pass. Payday 3's coming out. So I was like curious if you were looking into Payday 3 or anything.
Not really. I think we said this last time before what happened with like the technical issues, but honestly, if you want to play a game where you just rob banks, just play GTA 5 online.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're fun. They can be like quite stupid if like certain events happen. Like my friend and his friend were playing it and they got stuck, and then like they sent a clip, and then like it was just them trying to like go up to the roof and get to the extraction point, and then all of a sudden like a bunch of like cops and like security guards all glitched to the upstairs area, and they couldn't leave, and then they were getting sniped off of ladders and shit. So I was like, that's kind of funny. But otherwise, I'm just like, eh.
Yeah.
Like, it's a cool concept, but at the same time, I mean, they're trying to compete with GTA.
Yeah, and I mean, GTA is always gonna win it.
Yeah. It's like trying to ask people, oh, are you gonna play, like, the new Baldur's Gate or Final Fantasy? And people are gonna pick Final Fantasy. So, it's...
True.
You know, it's like... Because, like, no offense to anyone who likes that game, Baldur's Gate, but I hate RPG games with top-down views where it's like you can hardly look at your character, and I know people are like, oh, but this one you can. I'm like, yeah, but the main camera system looks like one of those, like, tabletop games, and it's like, I get it. I know Baldur's Gate is based off of D&D, and it's a tabletop game, but it's like, I really don't want a bird's eye view in a game where I can make my own character. It kind of defeats the purpose of character creation. And just some of the characters in that game look meh.
See, that's what kills me about like games like Diablo and stuff. Like the game like sounds so cool, but I hate the play.
Then you see the gameplay.
Yeah. Now you give me some first person or like third person ish, where it's not like, you know, tabletop like you use, which is such a good like term for it. Yeah. I just don't freaking like the the way it looks. And my buddy Andy's like, I would love to play Diablo, but I hate that FOV. And I'm like, same, or POV. I hate that too. Like, think about freaking I'm trying to think, what is that one game that came out that was really, Elden Ring. Was Elden Ring like a third person for first person game?
Yeah, third person.
Yeah, but you saw how cool that game looked though. Like, necessarily it wouldn't be my type of game, but that point of view made the game look great. Do it for Diablo. I think Diablo could be like, it's a successful franchise, but I feel like it would go beyond if they would implement like a feature where you could pick first person or tabletop view, which I love that term, tabletop view, man. That's a good one.
Yeah, but it is. It's like there's like a screenshot of it where it's like. So I also hate it when it's like games have like little colored rings around the character. So it's like there's a circle ring. So it's like that one's white, that one's purple, that one's red, that one's green, and it's like then like you're looking at the character from a bird's eye view, and then it's like you're watching this match happen from the top of the screen. So it's like you're looking down at the characters like a tabletop, and I just feel like you're wasting what you could be doing, and like a lot of people don't like that. And it's like my friend, he's only playing it like normally he agrees with me, like those kind of games are just like like we don't like those like point of views for games. But he's only playing it because he's really into D&D. And he also is mad because like my friend is like a physical collector, like he hates digital games. And to be honest, I kind of do too. It's why like when our friend Edgar said to me, oh, just keep your PS5 and has it as a digital copy. He's like, digital games are better anyway. I'm like, no, they're not, because you don't actually own your digital games. And he's like, yes, you do. I'm like, no, like, you don't. I had to explain to him that, like, when you buy a digital game, you're just actually renting it. Because if the company goes out of business, they can just take it away from you. Or if it doesn't make enough sales, they can just take the game away from you.
Like, you don't even have the files to it or anything, and that's where a PC would be different, because you could get the files and actually own the game. And my thing with it is, too, I like collecting games, and I like playing games. I love physical games just as much. Now, does it irk me that I do have a Series S instead of the X with the disc drive? Yeah, but I got it for convenience of, you know, the price point. But it's like, if I'm going to play a game so often where if I'm traveling and I don't want the hassle of getting, you know, taking my physical copy, then that's the point where I know I would like the convenience of having digital just in case. But if there's a game I'm going to pick up time to time and be like, okay, I'm in the mood to play for it, then I'll put it in later, like GTA for instance, then I'll put the physical disc in, put the physical disc out, and yada yada. But but preference too, I would love just to have freaking physical over digital. Plus some of the freaking physical covers of like games and stuff look so cool, and sometimes like not a lot these days compared to like the old days, but they come with like really cool stuff in the cases sometimes, like maps, posters, and you know, some interesting stuff.
That is why I'm like, that's why like physical games will
like Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy would do some really cool stuff. Like, they got beautiful artwork on their freaking games. And
they do. Like, look at the new Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Like, even though it's just a base game, because like they haven't got like they do have like a physical deluxe edition, but even like if you just got the base game, like the box art for it alone is beautiful.
It's like Kingdom Hearts on the PS2. Like, that game's over 20 years old, but
it's 21 years old.
I was about to say 21, so I was could be right. Awesome. But anyway, it's like because I would love to pick up those copies that are at the shop, but because they're so beautiful looking. And it's the fact they have like the reflective foil on it. It's kind of textured.
Oh, you're talking about the
yeah. It's just the way it looks, man. Like, my gosh, and it's just like you can't beat stuff like that. It's like, and then it's like
reflective foil games. They don't really do that anymore.
And it's like cool. I got a tiny little app that says, "Hey, look at this little game here that you are quote unquote renting." Yay! Look at this awesome case I have on my shelf of this awesome sweet game. Woo! But it's just like,
Yeah.
I wish companies would put more into like their cases again, like they used to, man. Like 360 to PS3, they like. I mean, I pick up my collection of like old stuff like that when I find them. But dude, like I found like some crazy oh, I think it's Vice City and the original GTA San Andreas. But man, from the PS2, and I have the original Xbox version of the San Andreas. But it's like, dude, the stuff that came with it, because this one's like mint, and dude, it comes with like the really cool disc. Obviously, like back then it would have like 2 discs depending on how big the game is, with the posters, with the manuals, color manuals that told you all the really cool things.
Where
like,
you could have the physical map.
oh dude, yeah, and you get to see the really cool like game releases coming out like within the next like season or month or year or whatnot. It was so freaking cool. And to point out one more thing too, from playing San Andreas on PS2 in recent times to playing it on the original Xbox, I will say where the original Xbox was more powerful than PS2, but if we're talking about games, PS2 has it beat completely. It was crazy how different, how much better the game looked on the original Xbox. But freaking, this is such a nostalgic vibe to go back and play those games, man. But I just, you know, I'm a physical guy, as the point I was making here the whole time.
Yeah, it is like sad though that like see like again, right? Call of Duty used to actually have effort into their like pre-orders. Like I think it was MW2 or one of the MW ones, but it was like you get like a pair of night vision goggles, dog tags, and then like you could get like
I forget
like
which
the
Black
map.
Ops it was, but when you pre-ordered like Black Ops 3, I know this one for sure, you got a mini fridge that looked like one of the perk machines, Juggernog. One of the Black
Oh yeah.
Ops series, it was Black Ops 2, you got the freaking, when you pre-ordered or whatnot, you got the RCXD car kill streak. It was a remote controlled car, and it was the freaking coolest thing I've ever seen. But it's just like, man, what happened to pre-orders, man? Like, yeah, it's cool for the in-game stuff, but I want some like physical stuff that I could display on my shelf. And I hate that
Yeah, because see, like, again, right? Going into, like, the digital stuff, right? Because, like I said, once the company goes out of business, or if the game doesn't sell well and they decide to pull it from the, like, digital marketplace and pull it from your library, yeah, like, all of that extra money that you put on those pre-orders mean absolutely nothing.
I want to make this a point too. Freaking, whatchamacallit? Trying to think. Well, shoot, Blake. Keep on going for your thing. I'll think of my topic just a sec.
No, I'm just, like, saying it's, like, yeah, like, if,
Oh,
you know, like...
I remember now. Not to cut you
go
off,
on.
but I want to get this out before I forget again. It's like, I hate when a freaking company that makes the game, like, I hate the only time they'll do something physically cool, like in a really cool collectible product, it's only exclusive for big giant content creators. Like, bring stuff in, like, you don't need to go like crazy like you did for them. Like, I understand that for, like, you know, growth and whatnot, but man, just put a little something out there for the smaller normal people. Like, I just want something. Like, hell, get like for instance, let's say Kingdom Key came out with its own freaking game of like the Kingdom Key Hearts 3 or something random, okay? Like, hell, I want freaking Blake's Keyblade in that. Like, I want the actual Keyblade. Like, jeez.
Mad thing about that is that my Keyblade is actually being made by someone that I've paid them for, and it's been like over a year, but yeah, they've got like loads of orders that they have to get through. They've been showing me updates and all, but...
That's good.
Yeah, man. No, it's like, exclusivity, like... You know, I know like people are like, oh, we shouldn't have things exclusive, because exclusivity makes blah blah, and I'm like, yeah, but that's what deters your console decision. Is the games, not really the console itself. You don't give a crap about the console because it just sits there gathering dust. You want the games that are exclusive to said system. That's what you want. And then people are like, oh, we shouldn't have exclusives. And I'm like, well, we should. Because that's what will make you play that system over the other. That's the whole point of what an exclusive is. It's like, PlayStation has Spider-Man, has Final Fantasy 16 at the moment, because next year they're putting FF16 on PC and Xbox. But, you know, it's like, they think that, like, you know, that it's not going to affect your choice.
Like,
but it is.
Like, everybody can own a Jak and Daxter game. But what if, like, they came out with a collectible where only certain people are able to afford it or get, or depending on, like, how soon you got the pre-order in, what if you got the precursor thing and you got to have that, like, it's a cool light-up display or something? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that makes it neat, and it makes you want to try to be able to beat the odds and get it in and say, ha, I was able to be one of 4 people to be able to get such said product.
Yeah. See, it's like, right now, like, Clive's sword, the main protagonist in Final Fantasy 16, right? In the Tower of London in England, they actually have a live display of Clive's sword from the game. Like, his main iconic one. And I'm like, damn. So it's like, you know, like, imagine then the company like Square Enix being like, oh, we've made 4 replicas of Clive's sword to scale, but it's only for 4 people in the Final Fantasy community who have big names.
Yeah.
It's like, bruh.
And I want to touch back real quick. I want to go back on something about when we were talking about POVs and stuff. One game, because I'm recently playing it, and don't worry guys, I'm getting the videos out, it's just the editing takes a minute. It's like Starfield, for instance. Starfield gave you freaking 2 options. You could either be third person, or you could be kind of like far back, which you get more of like a surrounding view of third person, or you could be first person. Put it in other games.
That's what Skyrim does, yeah.
Yeah, Skyrim. Yeah. It's like, my gosh, like, implement it. It's not that difficult. I'm sure it's not.
Yeah. But, you know, they're gonna do what they want to do. And we can't say anything about it because we don't have an opinion. Because they're the company, we're just people.
Listen here, company. Suck it.
Damn.
Yeah. You like that?
Damn. Told the company to suck one.
Speaking of games, man, I heard that you were telling me before we started that, when we were in the last podcast where you said it would be cool if they, came out with, like, or announced Red Dead Redemption 3, and supposedly you told me that it got, you know, leaked.
They confirmed that they're working on it, yeah.
I'm telling you guys, he's got the scripts, he just won't tell us.
Yeah, and now, like, the mad thing is, like, because, like, last time we were streaming, well, not last time we were streaming, last podcast we did where we spoke about that, I said, like, we should visit, like, a young Dutch, like, how he got into a gang, or, like, how he, like, made his gang, like, one of the most notorious, like, gangs in, like, you know, the Red Dead Redemption series. And now there are people, like, commenting, like, the same thing.
Dude, and I hope... Can you imagine how big of a year it would be, or a big of, like, 2 years would be if they came back to back with a Red Dead 3 release, then a GTA 6 release? Could you imagine how none of the other game companies out there could compete with Rockstar, with 2 of the biggest well-known game franchises of Red Dead and GTA? It would break records.
Like, I saw, like, a GTA 5, like, short the other day where, like, it was, like, the first 24 hours of GTA actually sold more money. So, like, their copies for GTA 5 sold more copies than any movie has made in 24 hours, any music video has ever made in 24 hours, more than any album, and more than any artist has ever made in 24 hours. And I was like, fuck.
It was wild, dude. Like, God. And then I'm like, it's been 10 years and GTA is still selling. Like, there's like I've seen freaking still like stores still selling GTA 5 copies. Like, it never ends.
No, and it won't. And and the thing is too, right? And another reason why they're making so much money still is because now they're making you pay for premium content on the online, and people are paying for that subscription.
Gotta do what you gotta do. But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
but I'm not too upset with it because Rockstar does pretty good at putting out good content.
Yeah, they do. So it's
Not like Call of
at the
Duty.
end of the day, the bag's the bag, the game's the game.
Yep, and guess what, guys? Quick cash grab and COD equals crap COD. I only play it just to shit on people, but other than that, games are mid except Treyarch. Anyway,
Same.
moving on before I get hit again. I want to ask you this because we never really got to ask it too well, and I'm gonna exclude Kingdom Hearts out of it because we all know, well, no, because you wouldn't want a remastered Kingdom Hearts because you like the way it looks because you feel it's perfect in its own way, and I agree with you on that. What other
Yeah,
game
it's just
would
'cause
you?
it's got like it's perfect like aesthetic.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, guys, we want to remake anyway. But
No, I don't.
freaking, what game would you like to see be remastered or remade again? What game would you really be like, that would be a really cool remake?
Honestly, there is one that's in the works, but we've not heard anything since about 2019, 2020. And they were doing it, and I don't know if they scrapped it or not, because they just released this new one for pre-order, and it's like a side-scroller going back to like the original. Which is Ubisoft was working on a remake for Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. And it was looking pretty good, and people were like, oh, it looks like shit, it looks like shit. And it doesn't look that bad, you can look it up. But then they came out with this new Prince of Persia game that's going back to like the OG like side scroller stuff, and I'm like, no one asked for this. Like, I don't want this. I want the Sands of Time remake that you were giving us, and we've not had any news since like 2020 about it. So
Yeah.
I kind of want them to do that, but I also like if they don't do this, I want what they owe me, which is I want Sly 5 or Sly Cooper to be completely remastered with all 4 games.
Did they ever do that with Jak and Daxter? Did they ever remaster them or just port?
Just the same thing that they did with Sly Cooper, which was where they gave you a nice little remaster, HD remaster for the PS3.
They did good with freaking, what's that, Spyro? Spyro looked good. I heard they changed voices in that game, though.
I wouldn't know because I'm not the biggest Spyro fan. But see, like, the thing that they did with Spyro, that's what I want for Sly Cooper. But I don't think they will because Sly Cooper's got, like, a funny relationship going on at the moment with things.
And that's always
So it's
fun.
like, we don't know who or what owns it, like what company actually owns Sly Cooper.
Yeah.
So that's the unfortunate thing.
Anything else, man, you can think of?
Oh, the Blood Omen series. Oh my god, so there's a vampire game series called Blood Omen, aka Blood Omen: The Legacy of Kain, and then it turned into Soul Reaver. And it was this really cool, sort of dark, eerie vampire kind of game, and it also had like a lot of puzzles, and like it was really cool, and like you could play as one of these vampires and stuff. And it was all about this sword called the Soul Reaver. And yeah, it was really fun. A lot of like scary stuff. But yeah, it was meant to get like a remaster and like a completely like new game by Square Enix because apparently they acquired the rights. And there was test footage of it that you can find, and then like ever since then it's just been scrapped and just been sitting on the shelf basically.
That's sad.
But, yeah, but otherwise I think like maybe maybe Ratchet and Clank, because a lot of people don't want to go back on the PS3.
But they
PS2.
but they did release, you know, that one Ratchet Clank, the newest one.
So they released one of them, which was like a remake of the first game, but also it was like an homage to like the Ratchet and Clank movie that came out years back.
Yeah.
And then they released the new one for PS5, but yeah, no, the Ratchet and Clank series is really good. I've not finished the first game, I need to go finish it, but yeah, it's like, other than that, I think maybe, I don't know actually, what do you think?
For me, I think one of my favorite games for Star Wars was Star Wars Force Unleashed 1 and 2. Love for them to get a remaster, because that game was freaking beautiful back in its day. Great game, looked beautiful. What else? I think that, and this is where childhood shows come into play. I would have really loved it if they, like, do you ever remember, like, obviously, me and you grew up watching Ed and Eddie as a kid, like, great show. Do you remember when they had that, game that came out?
Ed and Eddie, the Missed Adventure.
Yes. Could you imagine if they, like, remastered it to make it look more like their characters compared to how it did look? Like, it was still a fun game, but...
Bro, do you know what's the sad thing? I never played the game.
It's fun. I didn't play it till when I was kind of like about 15 years old, 13 to 15 years old.
Do you know, I might just go on eBay and buy it when I get paid.
Oh, bro, I'm about to snag a copy too. Freaking Actually, if you hit me up, I could freaking help you find one. But dude, a remaster of that game would freaking be great. And I'll tell you another one, which somebody did it, but I would love just like an official release.
Simpsons Hit and Run.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew you were going there.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. And, a good one. If they could do it for all the Fables, remaster all the Fables.
Yeah, I can't even lie, this new Fable does not look great.
You don't think so?
I know I shouldn't judge it because it's still in development and everything, but it's just... Wait, who joined what?
Oh, nothing. I forget where my mic picks up on the headset. I have my, like, whenever you're talking, I mute myself, but I was messaging a friend, but go on. I had to send him a quick message on some info. But, freaking, dude, you don't think Fable is gonna look that good?
No, it's like... As much as I love Halo 5 got ruined because they put actors into it and tried to make it like a big production.
God, when they made it a TV show.
And now, as much as I love the actor who was used in the Fable trailer, they're trying to, like, incorporate actors into Fable. And I don't know if it's true, because I don't always believe it, but apparently Fable are trying to get rid of, like, their raunchy sense of humor. And I'm like, but that's what made Fable in the first place, was their raunchy sense of humor. So, what are we gonna do if we get rid of, like, you know, the core elements that make Fable iconic?
I didn't think about this either. So, I hope Fable will be good. And what I was just thinking of this too, what if they freaking, like, so you remember how they had Master Chief Collection, which wasn't really a remastered or anything, it was just the collection of all the Halos.
Like ports and touch-ups,
yes. Yeah. But could you imagine how beautiful Halo 1, because I'd rather them focus on the three main oldest ones, but could you imagine how Halo 1, 2, and 3 could look, dude, with the modern technology. Like, because think about the dark, scenic looks of Halo 3, and it does have a sad story. But could you imagine how good that game would look and crisp at night with the way, like, light, they can make the lights be shining like certain objects and everything, bro? Like, I feel like the dynamic resolution and the ray tracing they could add to the game would make it look so freaking beautiful.
So what, in like Unreal Engine 5?
Yeah, in a way, but like, I just think they can make Halo 3 look amazing.
Yeah, they could.
I wish they would.
But I don't think they're going to, because it's just cheaper to report a game these days.
Yeah, but it's just like, I get it, but like, certain games do freaking deserve a freaking remaster, and you could agree too.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's get some Redemption remaster.
I don't think Red Dead needs a full remaster, but it would have been nice to get Red Dead 1 in the graphics of what Red Dead 2 had.
Or at least optimize it, kind of, you know, bring it up a little more to scaling with like new gen stuff like PS5, have it like an optimized PS5 exclusive look. That'd be kind of
neat. I guess. But yeah, I mean, I just know they're not gonna do it because, like I said, it's just easier to port a game than to fully remaster. And there's an airplane going over my...
You hear that, guys? Crash landing, Daddy Keyblades, the community uprising.
Sorry about that. Yeah, the plane, man. But yeah, no, it's just... I don't know, man. I just don't think that they really want to remaster old shit anymore. And that's the problem, is that, like...
I mean, they're doing it for show. Like, not necessarily remastered, but they're continuing... Like, they need to look at it in this perspective. Look at shows right now, and it tells you how good old stuff is. Futurama, making a comeback. It's got season 11, same actors, you know what. Successful. People were loving it like it's the original back then stuff, which it basically is, because the humor's back because they're not censored anymore by Fox. Another one, that Adventure Times with the Fiona Cake. The thing that makes that show good now is they got a little bit more leniency, which appeals a little bit more to kind of like the older generation that grew up with it. So because now that generation's us, being in our mid-20s, it's really good. It is so good because, you know, they're continuing a lot of like stories with it. It was successful back 10 years ago. Well, even older than that, 13 years ago, because it came back in like freaking 2010, which is so wild. Adventure Time and Adventure Time Fiona Cake, like that stuff came out so long ago, but like successfulness with that and just a lot of old stuff. But it's just like, you're seeing how good that's all going. Do it in games. Like, yeah, will it take a lot of time, bit of money? Yeah, but man, wouldn't that speak to a lot of people? But I mean, you're right. Unfortunately, we'll never see it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that like we'll never see it, but I just feel like they're like, oh, my priority is to not do this right now.
Yeah.
And that's really the unfortunate thing, because it's like, so I don't believe that we should remake and remaster thing, because then it's just gonna be a repetitive cycle of laziness. It's like we can get a game that'll come out tomorrow and then be like, oh, we want a remake in a year, and it's like, really?
There's a Batman game for PS1, and I can't think of its full name, but it had Mr. Freeze in it, bro. And hell, you know PS1 graphics, it's a rough one now. But now, if I could just get that game to have like remastered, and I'm not talking about like Gotham Knights remastered, because that game failed. Because the fact that Batman Arkham series looks better. Which one was the last one that came out?
Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight, okay, that's
the
what I was
worst
thinking.
one.
The best one, guys.
You're on crack.
Hey, that game was beautiful. That game still holds up. But
Wait, so let me ask you, the one on the PS1 that you're talking about had Mr. Freeze in it. Was it the movie sequel one?
I am gonna look it up. Let's see, Batman PS1 game. We're gonna look it up. Batman and Robin.
Yeah, that's the one based on the movie.
Yeah. I used to play that. And I suck because I was like 4 years old when I played it. But now that game could have got remastered, like, that'd be kind of cool.
You know what's really funny though is that the font that they used for the official game of Batman and Robin is the one for Batman Beyond.
You know what? It kind of, it does. I'm looking at it right now, like, wow. Speaking of Batman Beyond, I want a freaking Batman Beyond game. Or a freaking series. Give me it.
They're not gonna
give me it. They will one day. They will hear me. They're gonna be like, you know what? Inferno's kind of right. We're gonna make one. He's a smart dude.
And then they're gonna punch you in the clinch.
Just do it, guys. Like AI. I don't care if you get an AI Kevin Conroy's voice for the like original Batman Bruce Wayne. Like that's the only time I'll accept AI. But Jesus, like, come on.
No, I don't think that they should do AI for dead voice actors. I think that's really disrespectful.
I mean, it's not though, because like there's some out there that's talked about they would kind of like love kind of like having their thing kind of live on past their life.
Yeah, but I just think it's disrespectful.
How?
Because they're dead, and it's like you're making money off of their voice when they're no longer around.
Well, I would do it where, like, if I'm AI in their voice, well, one, I'd get the family's permission before I would do it. And I'm sure some companies would do that. Not everybody's heartless in this world, thankfully.
Heartless,
most are, sadly, but I think if they were to do Kevin Conroy, I would love it if they did kind of like a charity thing for, like, you know, what he died from, or pay to his family or whatever. I think that'd be kind of neat.
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just heavily against like that stuff because it's like people are like, "Oh, we should have AI write scripts for movies and games and music now." I'm like, no.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree with it either. I don't think with writing and music you should have AI, but if knowing if the said voice actor said that, hey, I would love if you could, you know, AI or CGI me or whatnot, and they had the full okay and that's what they want, then that's okay. But no, I don't think you should ever replace actual people when it comes to writing and music, because only you could get that from the true human mind.
Yeah. And AI is going to be like the thing that ruins everything. It's going to put everybody out of jobs at some point.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which is going to be bad.
Oh. Hell yeah.
I think we also had another question that we didn't answer, which was from Josh. JK Hearts.
Sorry, Hearts. You're out of here.
Damn.
Yeah, you're out of here. I said it.
What did he ever do to you?
He hurt my feelings. He doesn't love me no more.
Feelings.
What was his question?
His question was, how did you and I become friends, and how long we've been friends for?
Blake was one of the most annoying kids that I knew back then. I'm just messing.
Brandon was one of the most stupid kids I've ever met back then.
I still am. Yeah,
I rate that.
I heard a little Mickey come out. Did you get your balls tickled? Freaking. So, I'll answer it because your memory kind of sucks, to be honest.
Damn, thanks, man.
Hey, you said it yourself before this, so shut up.
I did.
But, it really kind of like, I'm going to simplify it because we kind of answered in a way before another podcast. So basically, I was on YouTube. I found our buddy Edgar, who used to be a comic book fan, I don't know what the hell he is. You change your name too many damn times. So
Elite of Battle Angel
yeah, Elite.
Gaming, or the Elite of Battle Angel.
Elite.
Like
well, you're the lead of freaking change your name too dang much. So quit doing that. Basically, I talked to him. He did comic book reviews. I thought that was cool. I would love just to be out there, have like a YouTube channel, and just interacting with people, because I thought that's like the coolest thing. So I interacted with him, became friends with him, added him on Facebook, and at one point Blake used to have a Facebook, no longer does. Don't blame him, it's kind of annoying and whatnot. But he shared me info about this dude. You know, he's cool, whatnot. They game together and they talk together in podcast or whatever. I was like, okay. So I got introduced with him right off the bat. Blake and I just connect. We're like, back then we were especially stupid and humorous, and we were just vibing off each other, making some of the dumbest comments. That friendship grew with, you know, from artwork to talking, helping each other out with intros, thumbnails, you name it, we done it. And and you know, it came with long Skype calls. Next thing you know it, I'm freaking sadly in this freaking 8 to 9 year friendship with him. And
damn, that was that much of a burden to you. I'll just leave.
And nowadays I just use them for a cash grab. But anyway, freaking. That's kind of really the basics of it. Like, nothing too crazy.
Wow, you guys heard it here. Using me for money.
Oh God, yeah.
Don't even deny it.
Hey, I'm proud of it. I don't even have
Gold digging.
Bro, I don't even have to show a nipple slip. Like, I'm making bank.
Oh my god.
Now, if you want a nipple
Jeez.
slip, that's gonna cost you extra $25.
Hey guys, don't pay for that. It's not worth it.
If you guys do want to pay for a soundboard, me going, Daddy Keyblade, I got you
Don't
guys.
pay for that.
Do it,
If
guys.
you guys pay for that, you're all dead to me.
it would help me out a lot, guys.
Guys, don't.
It will go. Hey, guys, look at it this way. It would go for a PS5, so I could troll him on live streams. Yes.
I'm just gonna stay quiet.
Good boy. One day, guys, and we'll have a PS5 and we're gonna collab and do some stuff. I'm gonna try my hardest today or tomorrow, guys, to get a collab with them. We're gonna do some Texas Chainsaw. So stay tuned for
We can
that.
do it right after this, bro. I'm awake.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, like it's been a wild journey, man. It's been a wild journey.
Wild journey and an extra $1,000 in the bank account. What can I say, folks?
I wish I had that much money in my bank account. Bro, I'm broker than a joke right now. Like, I am broke as fuck right now. But yeah, no, like, yeah, our friendship started, like, kind of just, like...
Whoa,
Yeah, like-
he's British!
Yeah, that was it, yeah.
And guys, did you not know this, but his family is British too?
What a shocker. Who knew? Fuck. Hey, yo, Brandon, did you know that you're American, that your family's American too?
Bro, I did not know that. Now looking at it, that explains everything. Obesity.
Oh my god. Jeez.
Is it true that in England y'all sip tea and say cheerio, top in the morning?
Not anymore. That was bad.
Remember,
Obesity,
Blake,
it explains.
obesity and hood rats.
Hood rats?
I don't even know.
Who's the...
I don't know.
Who's...
Edgar's a hood rat.
Damn, I think Edgar might have to come on the podcast and defend himself.
Nope, he's banned. If you change your channel name more than twice, you're banned.
Sweet, so how do I change my channel name?
You're an exception.
Damn it. Just kidding. But no, like...
Hey, would you be opposed to a
that.
petition to change your YouTube name to Daddy Keyblade?
That's not gonna happen, because also you'd have to pay £1,000 each.
You're a dick. Go on, though.
That's kind of like how it happened, was like... Edgar and I were making videos, joking around, being stupid. And then you got introduced to it by Edgar, and then you were like, oh, I kind of want to do the same thing. And then, like, yeah, it all just kind of went from there. It's been wild, though.
Wild like a child.
Wild like an AO? What?
Ayo.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I've been... Now we're gonna ease to this segment, because this one's funny.
Oh, gosh.
Story time, folks. We're adding it back.
Oh, for the love of God.
Oh, yeah. So here's how it goes.
By the way, this is a warning for any of the people watching who aren't of age.
Oh, yeah. So, me and my girl, we live with her parents because we're eventually, trying to save up and then have our home. So, it makes finances easier and whatnot. Nothing wrong with that. A lot of people do in our age because freaking housing and rent.
Difficult.
Well, I was going to say housing and rent sucks. But anyway.
And life be difficult, yeah.
Shut the hell up. Only for you, you small-brained weasel. But anyway.
You see how he treats me?
So this one's a little there, so bear with me, folks, because so her parents have a really nice shower, and
Ayo.
And let me tell you guys, it's good for like a hot shower for my girl, and there'd be little like fun time boobies and whatnot. But anyway, we're walking in there, and we're getting ready. We're taking undressed and whatnot, getting ready for a shower. And she points, she's like over at the sink. She looks over, she's like, I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. I was like, what? She's like, don't worry about it. I was like, okay. She gets in the shower, and I'm like, what the hell was she freaking talking about? I look around, looking around. I'm like, okay. Talk to her with the on the shower. Then I immediately, after I get out of the shower, go to my freaking friend's room, and I took a picture of it. I showed all my friends. I was like, look at this. Like I'm like a 13-year-old. But anyway, I'm like, babe, she uses the same vibrator as you, like the same type, same color. God. But I said, thank God you at least freaking clean up after yourself. I'm telling you, man, it was a little bit rusty. I was like, what does this taste like? I'm just kidding, but I was like, that's just wild, babe. I said, now I know where you get your taste from. Does an apple doesn't fall far from the tree?
God damn, dude.
Oh yeah. And I'll tell you one thing, it was not mayonnaise on that one.
When we said story time, I didn't think we were going to include all the nitty gritty.
But that wouldn't be Inferno now, would it?
Oh my fucking god, my guy.
Anyway, you got a story time yourself?
No, not after that. My god, dude.
I told you. Do you know what story time that one kind of reminds you of?
Yeah, I know which one.
Yep, I told you. I was telling them guys on the call. I was like, oh, this story time's gonna remind you of an OG one. He's like, oh god. And I'm like, oh yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
Oh
And I
yeah.
start crying, and then, because I can't believe I've known this guy so long and he's still getting into ridiculous situations.
Well, nothing's worse when you hear your girl's siblings having sex, and that that one gets loud.
Oh god.
What about you,
Oh.
Blake? You ever had those kind of incidents?
I've had many incidents like that.
Blake walks in on his mom. What are you doing, son?
No, I've walked in on my best friend and his girlfriend.
Oh my god, that makes me think of this story. I freaking
I've then also walked in on his parents.
Oh, dude.
Well, they were doing it in the couch.
Yeah, but God, give him some privacy.
It's right in the way when I came over.
Oh, dude, you want to hear how my buddy freaking got trolled by his brother?
Oh god.
So, my buddy, I took him to this girl's house. She lived in this
Oh god.
apartment and whatnot with her mother, but her mother wasn't going to be back for a while. And this was my buddy's first time. He was like 15. He was getting laid. And I'm not much older. I'm like 17 or 18. But anyway, I'm like, okay, I'll drop you off. I was in their living room while they were chilling there, because I was just kind of chilling on TV or whatnot. And I ended up being in their room for a sec, and I didn't get the hint. Oh, they're about to get laid. So I go to the living room again, watching TV, and I walk in. They're snuggling. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, and I said, Andy, I'll pick you up later, man. He's like, alright, okay. They were doing it for a couple hours. He never came, which, you know what happens. You get called blue balls for not finishing. Wasn't his fault, guys. Was not his fault. Here's the reason why. His brother, his younger brother, Gage, he's like 3 years younger than him. He freaking texted on his mom's phone that he is in absolute trouble. That he needs to come home because he's grounded. He got trolled so hard from that, thinking that was his mom. So I pick him up, he's like, I don't know, my mom wants to, apparently I'm in trouble. His brother, so I dropped him off, come back home. He gets on the Xbox with me. I said, what happened, Eddie? What'd you get in trouble for? Oh, nothing. Gage is freaking acting like he was mom. So my buddy's brother basically cost him from finishing and having a good sex experience by trolling being his mother. That's sad.
Well, you certainly told some stories.
Come on, Blake. Share us your sex life. I'm just kidding. What was her name? Susie? Stacy? What the hell was she? Was she slutty at all?
Well, if we're not getting cancelled after this podcast, I don't know what's happened.
You get it?
No, I could tell you kind of a wild story.
Oh yeah.
So, I must have been about maybe 17, and there was a friend of mine. Well, no, actually, no, I was older than that, about 19, because like I had just like broken up with like this girl who I was with for like about 5.5 years. Because like it was like a mutual thing, because like she was moving and everything, and like she's engaged now, I found out, and like she's getting married, and she tried to invite me to the wedding, and I'm like, I cannot make it to the area because where she lives now is like too expensive, and travel there is like also like just not ideal.
Daddy
and I kind of
Keyblade.
don't want to watch her like get married and stuff. But also no Daddy Keyblade allowed.
Daddy
But
Keyblade.
no, and so after about like a year of me like being single, one of my best friends was like, "Oh, bro, let's like like hook you up with someone." I was like, "Oh, guys, like, no, I don't want to." Hooks me up with this girl. She's really nice. She's into like video games. She's into art, she's into music, and all this other stuff. Anyway, I spend the night at her house because her parents are out. She has a pretty big house, and all of my friends were coming over as well. Like, we were all just like hanging out, vibing, and anyway, the next morning, like, I ended up waking up, and like it was hot in her house for some reason. I have no idea why. I think it was like, I don't know what it was, but anyway, so like I then woke up and I felt something like cold like around like the two sides of my neck, and I was like, what the hell is this? And like I then like open up my eyes, and she's standing over me on the bed with like a pair of open scissors to my throat, and I'm like, nope. So I just pushed her off of the bed, grabbed my shoes, grabbed my jacket, forgot my t-shirt because I slept with my t-shirt off, and like, I just jumped out the window and then put my shoes on and then just ran, bro.
What the what? Did she?
Yeah,
What was she trying to do? Kill you?
probably, man.
Could be a little kinky.
That's what you gotta say.
What? She got a little bloody kink. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All guys like a girl that's a little bloody.
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh. I'm sorry. Oh, I just realized what I just said. Oh. Oh.
We're gonna get so canceled after this.
Oh, maybe.
Oh.
Dude, that's horrible,
Do you
though.
know, I've been looking to tell you guys a story time on my channel, but I don't think it's fucking appropriate. But I can tell it here.
I was gonna say you're
podcast exclusive.
I was gonna say most of the Kingdom Hearts community is like they're 20 or 30 years old now.
No, I know, but like it's like I know like some people are sensitive to things.
Yeah, just put it rated PG-19.
I'm gonna tell you guys a Sam story. Okay. Now JoJo's Got Flow has heard me tell a few stories about this guy named Sam who I used to be friends with. Now, if you guys don't know who Kurt Cobain is, he's the lead singer of Nirvana. And this guy Sam used to look like a rip-off of Kurt Cobain. He used to have long, straight blonde hair, blue eyes, and like he used to wear like blue skinny jeans, and he used to have like all of like his stuff like like same like kind of like clothing as Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
And Sam also just said the weirdest shit. And the first time I met Sam, I must have been... No, he didn't do drugs, but he was on some kind of medication. But like, he wouldn't take it. But like, he said some of the weirdest shit. I cannot tell you how weird it was. So like, the first time I met him, right? He was like, "Oh, what's good, guys? My name's Sam. Yeah, look at you, Blake. Nice to meet you, Blake. You look like a nice, fine specimen." And I was like, "I look like a what?" He was like, "Oh, a fine specimen." And I was like, "The fuck?" And like, this was my first encounter with him. And then later on, I meet his friend Jake, who I still occasionally see here and there. And like, the first thing that Sam did when he then saw Jake, he went, "Oh, Blake, here's my friend Jake." He went, "Hey Jake, look at this sexy specimen of a guy named Blake." And I was like, "How old are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm like 15. I'm like, "Bro, you're older than me." I'm like 20, like freaking. I'm like freaking 13 at this point. He's like, "Oh, don't worry, Blakey boy. I'm gonna look after you." And I'm like, "What?" And he goes,
That's your daddy.
Because I love you. And I'm like, Okay.
That's your
And
daddy right
just
there.
here, bro, no, it gets worse. It gets worse. So then later on, Sam is screaming about something because he just got punched by a girl who he went to school with, and he got punched like in the man parts. And he went, "Oh no, she got me. William's down." And I'm like, "Who's down?" He went, "William." And I'm like, "Who the fuck is William?" He went, "Pay attention, Blake. I've just been punched in the balls in the penis. I've been punched in Sir Williamson." And I'm like, "You what?" And then Jake just turns to me and goes, "Yeah, he calls his penis Williamson." And I'm like, "The fuck?" And then the next thing I know is like this is a few years later, so I'm about like 16 now, and then Sam's like, "You know what, Jake? Now that Blake's okay and that he's the age of consent, I'm gonna grab it." I'm like, "Wait, you're gonna do what?" And he just grabs my dick. He's like, "Yeah, give me that penis, boy." He's like, "Oh, you got a nice one. I can feel it through your pant." And I'm like, "Sam, get the fuck off of me."
Hey guys, you heard it. He did not deny it. He loved it.
I hated it, bro. I was pushing him on the floor and everything. And he was just like, "No, come back here, you little slut." Like, what the fuck is wrong with him? And then Jake was like, "I don't know, man." He grabs my nipples as well.
Come on, Blake. Let
And
me grab it.
yeah, and that's how he would speak. He'd be like, "Come here, Blake." He'd be like, "Come here, Brandon. I'm just gonna grab it."
Come here,
I'll be
Blakey Poo. I love you.
But yeah, I've
Daddy
not
keep
seen
Blake.
him ever since. But no, there's like the worst thing he's ever done was right. We were just like chilling like out in the street because Sam was like into skateboarding and like longboarding and stuff, right?
Yeah,
And so
Blake,
like we were
go
just
on.
chilling like in the road, and like Sam then like sees a car coming, doesn't warn me, pushes me on the ground, and then like I notice it like 2 seconds later, and I just pull my head up like really quickly. I'm like, "Sam, what the fuck?" And he went, "Yeah, well, you know, Blake, better you than me." And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, Blake, better you than me.
I'm like, "Oh god." Oh, and then like the worst thing was, he'd be like, "Does anyone want to grab the purple snake?" And we were like, "What the fuck?" And then they were like, "Yeah, well, Sam says he's got a purple pink." And I'm like, "I'm done. I am genuinely done."
Dude, it makes you think of this similar story I got told by my buddy Bosco yesterday in the gym.
Oh god.
When he goes to, so he said because where he's hurt his back, broke the lower part of his back in parachuting accident where he was in the army or whatnot. But anyway, so he gets nerve issues. So every now and then his leg might just kind of like give out. Every now and then,
Mm.
and he said one time the squat rack, his leg kind of like gave out a little bit with 300 pounds on his back. And
Right.
freaking, so that's about 2 or 3 plates of weights on each side because Blake's metrics are a little different than ours guys. And
A little bit.
but he freaking his buddy helped him until his nerves in his legs were fine and then helped him back up. Well, here's the problem with that said dude. When he works out, as Bosco told me, he's one of those people that get like certain people work out, they get their nipples get hard. He gets a boner when he works out. And
Oh,
while he was working out, and dude boss is squatting, when his legs get out, the dude came up from behind and grabbed him around to help him up, like hold him there until he got up. And he said, as he was trying to wait for his legs to come back, all he could feel was that boner from behind, and he hated every freaking minute of it.
oh god.
So as he's got 300 pounds, like, he says, I'd rather have that 300 pounds follow me than having that big old dick behind me.
Yeah, that is mad.
I was like, oh, Bosco. He's like, I know, bro.
That is mad. Yeah, no, some people. Do you know what though? That's the thing though, is that a lot of people at the gym get, when working out, like a lot of them.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, I'm pretty big. They call me Sasquatch, but not by my feet. By my big arms.
Oh my god. Anyway, any more topics before we close up?
Nah, man. I think we're done good, man. Like we're about an hour and 20 into it. Like he's been good.
All right, man.
He's been
Yeah,
good.
no.
Like this is some good content right here, guys. Like freaking, we're back. We're back with another one. Freaking episode 3 or 4. I think 4 now, actually. So yeah, we're doing
Another one.
We're doing good. We're way more consistent.
Yeah.
Freaking. What I gotta say, guys? Well, I gotta say is, you know, be prepared for a couple of new series. I'm gonna upload more Starfield later. May live stream certain things that's particularly for YouTube purposes, because I do mainly stream on Twitch, but I might do something for YouTube. We will see. Wait for a collab with us too. We're gonna figure that out. And one other thing is, guys, make sure to check out Blake. Even though majority of his people are checking me out, which that's alright, I'm a good looking guy. But anyway, if you did like this video, guys, you know, subscribe and like it. It means a lot because, you know, like, you know, I love people. And yeah, guys, so we're probably gonna do one again probably in about a week or so, you know, give time for time pass and see what's new, and we'll see you guys in the next one. So yeah, Daddy Keyblade out.
Wait, what?